So today, Sunday, lunchtime at my mom's, and I'm going to be cooking my famous Hokkien Mee. Famous because my whole family loves it. Alright, so what I've done to save some time for you is I've chopped up the garlic already. I have put the water on boil, and in the water are all the shells from the prawns that I peeled, as well as a big chunk of pork belly, which I'm going to take out in a while and chop up. Now I've kept one prawn here, although I've already ripped his head off because we had to restart this filming. Just to show you how quickly it is to peel prawns. First time it might feel a little bit gross, but it's not that bad. So I throw that away because I've already got enough shells in the water. And I'm just going to use my nails and kind of peel the whole body off and keep the tail on. Now the reason you're boiling the shells and the pork belly is to get that beautiful stock that they use for prawn noodles as well as Hokkien Mee. Now sometimes you'll find this this black bit of yucky gooey in the prawn. What I do is, some people cut it, but I just pull it out with my nail. If you don't have nails, what you can do is you can just cut a line along the body and peel that bit out. Now after that, I'm just going to very quickly rinse it so that it's gotten rid of all of the insides. Alright, that's done. The prawns are done. Now I'm going to take the pork belly out of the water. Because the pork belly it's super quick to turn color. So it goes from the pink when you buy it and it turns white very quickly. I've actually left this in a bit too long. Let that cool down a bit. And what I have is, because we've got a lot of people here today, I bought 2 of each of these yellow noodles, which you can find in any supermarket in the cold section. And I've also bought the laksa noodles to have a little bit of a mix of texture. And because it's already pre-cooked, what you can do is you can just soak it in a bit of water before you put it into the pan to fry, just to loosen it up a bit. Okay, so it's not too cool, but I'll use the thongs to help me. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to slice them into little strips. Now what you can do also with the pork belly is you can cut the fat off and deep fry it so you get that crispy pork lard, which my dad keeps telling me I have to do to make Hokkien Mee, but I'm not going to do it because I don't want to deep fry anything and keep this relatively healthy. Just cut that all up. And what is going to happen with this is I'm going to get a frying pan, which will magically appear in front of me when I ask for it. Can I get a frying pan, Mother? Is that the biggest one you have?
No, I've got a bigger one.
Can I have the largest one you have? Yeah. And I'm going to fry the garlic and the pork together. And so depending on how many people you're cooking for, all my measurements for cooking Hokkien noodles is based on approximation. So what I've done is 2 prawns for each person. Oh my goodness, and I forgot the squid. Okay. This was one of the largest squids I got from the supermarket. And I'm going to show you how I clean it as well. It's super big. It's still dripping. So I'm just going to go over here. And you'll see the size of this squid. So there you go. They had bigger ones, but I thought this was big enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I clean a squid. So literally you just hold on to the head and rip his head off from his body, and you'll get all that coming out. You can keep the head and just cut the tentacles off and use the tentacles, but I'm not going to do that today just to save. And it's happened again. I've got a fish in the squid. Mom,
what? Again?
I got a free fish.
Oh.
So this has happened before. I thought it was really funny if it would happen again. And so this is what he had for his last meal. And he was literally just inside. Yeah, that's big enough. And we're not going to cook him. Look, he looks upset. His mouth is open like he was shocked because the squid came and gobbled him up. I don't know if squid actually eat fish, but we're going to throw him away. And there should be this plastic-like bone or spine in the squid. You can feel it. You just have to pull it out. Make sure there's no more inside. You can sort of feel it through. And what you do, you can, I mean, this is optional, pulling the skin off, but it's very easy. It's just like literally like a second skin for the squid. Just get your nail in there or a knife if you don't have any nails. And just pull it off. Comes off very easily. You can also pull the little fins off as well, which you're going to use because that's all good meat. Just pulling it off. There you go. Now I'm going to just give it a quick rinse. Make sure the inside. You might find still the little plastic spine because I can feel it here, but I'll get rid of that as I cut it. So very quickly, my prawn shells are still on a very low heat because that stock is already made. It's done. So we're just going to leave it warm. And I'm going to cut this very quickly into rings. So you don't have to use squid. I like using squid so I don't have to buy so many prawns. And sometimes when you cut it, you'll still see these extra bits. Just pull them off and throw them away. And see, I get this extra bit of plastic spine that's still inside. No more fish. I can't believe I got another fish. I got a smaller one the last time in an equally as big squid. But must be my lucky day to get a second squid. It's so weird. I was going to tell you that story and it was going to be funny, but I actually got another fish in my squid. And so don't be shocked if you find extra little sea creatures in your squid, especially if they're super large. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the, I wouldn't call it gravy, it's just the sauce for the flavor of the in the Hokkien Mee to add to the noodles itself. Very quickly, just get a small bowl. I'm going to just mix some dark soy sauce, and this again, it's all an approximate. White may not be the best color to wear when you're cooking this sort of food. This is dark as well. No, this is dark. I need light. That's dark. So too dark is okay. A little bit of sesame. Thank you. Oops, maybe too much. And just some. Again, I'm doing this all out of approximation because I really don't know what the measurements are. I'm going to dilute it with some water. And what I always do is I just taste it. And depending on how salty or what extra stuff you want to add in it, after cooking this once, you'll pretty much know what you need to put in. And I'm going to add some cornstarch just to thicken it. And it doesn't really have to be hot water for you to mix the cornstarch into the gravy. Okay, and that's pretty much done. Now it's time to cook. So you're not going to use all of this. What we're going to do later is we're going to scoop it spoon by spoon into the frying pan, and depending on the taste of your noodles. So the oil is heated up, and I'm going to, oh, it's not heated up enough. That's okay. We can wait for it to heat up. The good thing is it's not over hot, because when it's overheated, the garlic will burn and it will become bitter, so you don't want that. So better not as hot as you want it than too hot. Alright, just turn the heat up a bit. I did want to get that sizzling sound, but that was a failure. And turn this on. This is not my kitchen. Oh, maybe not. It's too loud. This is not my kitchen, so I'm still kind of learning where everything is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fry the garlic and throw the pork in. Prawns and squid are super quick to cook, so I'm just gonna thin the pork belly out a little bit. It's nice when it's little tiny strips. One day I will deep fry the pork lard, but today is not that day. A little bit of cartilage. Now this is a very economical dish to cook. I'm cooking for 5 adults, 2 teenagers, well 6 adults, 2 teenagers, and a 6-year-old. And all I spent today at the supermarket was $40, and that includes it excludes your sauces like your light soy sauce, sesame, and dark soy sauce, because these are things that you should already have in your kitchen. So for the pork and the squid and the noodles and the prawns, it's $40 for all those people, and the noodles as well. And it's quite a good dish. It's great to eat, especially on a Sunday when you have family or friends over. It's very quick to cook. Okay, I can hear my garlic sizzling, so I'm going to immediately throw my pork in. Basically, once you have everything chopped up and the prawn and pork stock done, it's a super quick dish to make. I don't even refer to my instructions anymore because I've done this so many times. So when you've taken the pork belly out of the water, it may not necessarily be cooked through. So you're finishing the cooking process here in the frying pan. I'm going to heat up just a little bit more. And that would be my 6-year-old nephew that you hear in the background. I'm just stirring the gravy just a little bit, the sauce, the accompanying sauce just a little bit more so that the cornstarch is nicely mixed. Got my packet of noodles open. The prawns and the squid you'll want to throw in just before your noodles so that they can cook up. Actually, you can throw it in after because prawns and squid are so quick to cook. Literally just 3 or 4 minutes and you're done with the prawns. So you don't want to overcook them. This is still on the boil, on low heat, so it's simmering. Pork is almost cooked, and it will cook some more as you cook your noodles. So what I'm going to do, I've got the mix, as I mentioned, of the yellow mee. This one feels like it's pretty much not stuck together, so I don't even need to put it in water first to separate it. So I'm just going to throw that in. And since we have so many people, I can throw this whole packet in. And I'm mixing it with the laksa noodles. You can also mix it with bihun if you want. That will give a nice, different textures as you eat it. I love the smell of garlic and onions frying. I mean, it's just the best smell in the world. Okay, I'll just throw all that in. Now, if it's still a little bit stiff, don't worry, because I'm going to be putting the stock from the prawns and the pork in, actually right now. So all I'm doing is just scooping up, making sure I don't get any of the prawn shells in here. And just wetting the noodles down. I don't have to put the prawns in just yet. Now the dark color that you see later on, not that you see, that you get with the noodles comes obviously from the light soy sauce and dark soy sauce and sesame mix. So see, it's beginning to look like Hokkien noodles. I also need spring onions. No, I don't need one. Now my mom has found a new method of keeping spring onions fresh. What she does is she buys a whole batch of spring onions, washes it, washes it, and then puts them in a container and freezes it. Spring onions go very, very quickly, so this is a great method. We also do this with chili padi, which keeps it for a long time, and for some reason you can't do it with your big red chili. You can only do it with chili padi. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of these spring onions in to make it look the part. And spring onions almost immediately start to cook because they're just like frozen, they're frozen spring onions. They're like little ice cubes. So they melt very quickly. Now I'm going to put the more of the flavor and coloring. Now if you zoom into this, you will actually see that it's starting to look like Hokkien Mee. Hope it tastes as good as it looks. I will let you know in a while. Throw the prawns in. And then throw the squid in. And that's just about it. I mean, all that's required now is a little bit of flavoring from your soy sauce mix, a little more stock from the prawns. See how quickly the prawns cook? So obviously when you put them in, they're brown, they're gray, and almost immediately they start to go pink. So you'll see on this prawn here, that's already started to go pink. Can you see that? That's already started to go pink, so that's when you know your prawns are cooked. I'm trying to make this as idiot-proof as possible, assuming that you've never made Hokkien Mee before, or cooked prawns or squid. Just to let you know how you can tell once they're cooked. Your prawns are going to end up looking like this color that you see with the head here. All nice, bright pink. And that's been in the water for about 10 minutes, but it won't take so long with the frying up. I actually learned this dish from my mother-in-law. And I used to have to refer to the instructions, not anymore. So I've added more noodles because we're so many people here. Now if you feel that the noodles are starting to stick to the bottom of the pan, just add more of the prawn stock. I've also added more spring onions and just waiting for the prawns to cook for some reason. Now the cornstarch thickens the gravy a little bit, and it also gives that nice stickiness that you get with Hokkien Mee. There you go, you've got a nice consistency of that gooiness that's so yummy. I think we are pretty much done. So I'm just going to very quickly take a quick taste before offering it up to the rest of the family. I've got them right here. Very good, but I think it needs more seasoning. So I might as well just use all of this. You can also add a bit of salt if you don't want to add too much soy sauce. Completely up to you. You can add pepper if you want. And what I always serve this up with is cut chili padi, soaked in light soy sauce, and that makes the perfect accompaniment. I haven't tried to make the sambal that goes along with Hokkien Mee yet, but maybe on my next go, I will. This is the finished project for today. So I've got my prawns, all my noodles, and I'm just gonna serve this. And this is not all mine. This is for everyone that I've cooked for